Hello good people, welcome to Smart Learning Point. In today's class, we're going to be looking at Digital Test 1, Module 1 and number 11. So I want you to follow along with me as we walk step by step so you can see how to solve a problem like this. Okay, we are given these scattered plots and we ask to determine the equation. Okay, so to determine the equation of this kind of problem, the first thing you need to take note of is you need to know the slope and you need to know the intercept. And for this kind of question, you are not going to do any calculation. So calculating will be like a long journey, but you need to know some few rules. If you know the guidelines that you follow, this should not take you more than 10 seconds to solve. Okay, so let's look at the first guideline. The first guideline is if the line, which is the scatter line, okay, so let me try to draw that. If the scatter line is coming downward like this, that means it started from the top and it comes downward. If that happens, it simply means that the slope there is going to be negative. The slope is negative. Okay, let me repeat that by drawing something here. Whenever the slope is coming down like this, that's the line, which is the scatter line, is coming down. That means it started from here, the top here, and it comes down here. So what is happening there is the y is reducing, the y is coming down. The y started from a higher value and it comes down to a lower value, as you can see it here. And then the s now started from a lower value here and increases to a higher value here. So that is telling you while y is decreasing, s is increasing. In this kind of arrangement, it simply means that your slope is going to be negative. Okay, so now let me explain the second side before I go to the second rule. Now if your graph now is going upward, in this kind of scenario, this line, scatter line, is not coming down, it's going upward. So this simply means that your slope here is going to be positive. So let's look at what is happening. As it started from here, it started from a lower value of y and it increases to this place, so to a higher value of y. That means y is increasing. Let's look at the same thing for s2. S started from here, from this position, and then the s increases all the way to this position. So this is saying that as y increases, s is also increasing. So in this kind of scenario, your slope will be positive. Okay, so take the guideline again. If your scatter line is coming downward, your slope will be negative. If your scatter line is going upward, your slope is going to be positive. Okay, good one. Okay, so now that you understand how to get the slope using that rule, now let's also look at another rule that could help us to get the intercept. So to get the intercept also can be positive or negative. So we also have to figure it out. Okay, so to figure that out, let me try to draw like a line graph. Okay, so this middle is the point where we have 0, 0. That's where we have the x to be 0 and y also to be 0. Okay, good. So let me just indicate that, okay, we have 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Let's say we have 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Okay, good. So if the line in question that we are looking at did not cross this 0, that means if the scatter line is above this 0, 0, is above this 0, 0, if the scatter line is above it, it simply means that it's going to give the y-intercept that is positive. So it means if, okay, let me just draw to explain that. If you have the line like this line has not crossed. It hasn't crossed the 0, 0, which is the origin. It hasn't crossed it. So in such scenario, it means the y-intercept will be positive. Let's look at another line to demonstrate it. If you have a line like this, okay, so the line too is still not crossing below. It's still above the origin, which is 0, 0. It's still above it. It has not crossed to the negative side. It simply means that the intercept will still be positive. Okay, good. Now let's see the scenario where we will have the intercept to be negative. If the line crosses, for an instance like this, the line crosses and it goes below the origin. If the line goes, that's the scatter line. If the scatter line go below the origin, it simply means that your y-intercept is going to be negative. Okay, so let me draw another line again. If your line crosses below the origin, so this line has crosses below the origin, so it simply means that it's going to give a negative y-intercept. Okay, now that you understand this, so let's continue to the graph. Okay, as a reminder, remember, when the line is coming downward, it simply means that our slope is going to be negative. And then when our line, which is a scatter line, is not crossing to the negative side, that means it's still above the 0, 0. So this is the place that we have 0, 0. This place has 0, 0. This line did not cross to the negative side. It didn't cross to the negative side. Because it did not cross to the negative side, it means our intercept too will be positive. Okay, so let's write that down. Our slope is negative 1.9, and then our y-intercept is going to be positive 10.1. Okay, so the slope is negative simply because the line is coming downward. And then for the y-intercept, the line, scattered line, is above the origin, above 0, 0. That's the reason why the y-intercept is 10.1. So it means our final answer in this contest is the option B. It's option B that fitting into what we're looking for. So y equals minus 1.9x plus 10.1 is our final answer.